Although 4 years seems like a very short period of time to accomplish a mission, Dr. Precious Gbenol believes it is just enough time to achieve enormous progress on Nigeria's Millennium Development Goals. She has recently taken over as the new Special Assistant to the President on MDGs. Born in 1966, Dr. Gbenol hails from Nigeria's Rivers State. She is a consultant family physician with master's degree in public health from Liverpool University. She is a fellow West African College of Physicians, Lagos, fellow National Postgraduate College of Family Medicine, Lagos, Nigeria. She has also in the past attended courses in Harvard School of Public Health. She has worked as a medical doctor for 20 years. Mrs. Precious Gbenol was an acting medical director, Health Services Department of Rivers State University of Education. She was appointed Secretary Health in the Federal Capital Territory Administration on April 15, 2009, the position she held up to June 2, 2011. Now, Mrs. Precious has accepted to up the activities of Nigeria's Millennium Development Goals by accepting to be the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Millennium Development Goals. She believes that by executing the necessary projects needed by many of Nigeria's rural poor, it will go a long way towards the success of the goals. Many have in the past felt the impact of the hard work of the MDGs. Although many lived on less than $1 a day in the country, today the coming of Millennium Development Goals has changed the lives of the many poor people.
I intend looking at the priority areas that have poor indices already to see how we can achieve better results in those areas that the indices are very poor.
Nigeria has remarkable stories to tell on its progress towards the Millennium Development Goals. There is a positive story to tell on each of the goals. In 2000, Nigeria joined 188 other nations, adopting the United Nations Millennium Declaration, which laid out the 8 time-bound development goals that have come to be known as the Millennium Development Goals. Since then, they've acted as a roadmap for development agreed on in a global compact between rich and poor nations. 4 years after the declaration, the country took the first bold step by publishing her homegrown strategy for economic and social development, which was at the time tagged Needs. The MDGs office was at the heart of the strategy and since then has been a central theme in the efforts of both the Nigerian government and her development partners. After the announcement of the debt relief by Paris Club by the then president on 30th June 2005, a major focus of the debt negotiations was the need to assure members of the Paris Club that the debt relief gains would be spent effectively and appropriately. However, issues of corruption and accountability in the country continued to fuel skepticism in many quarters. There was a lot of fear as to whether savings from the deal would be well utilized and not misspent. Today, Nigeria has introduced a range of innovations which has scaled up its investments, and this has cleared the initial doubts and skepticism people had. In 2006, Nigeria unveiled its dedication to its poor people through the MDGs. The office was able, with the debt relief gains, to train 145,000 teachers and 40,000 were recruited nationwide for the teacher scheme. Under Nigeria's health sector, 166 new primary healthcare centers were built and 207 were rehabilitated across the country. Nigeria being a country of huge malaria burden, the MDG's office through the country's Ministry of Health was able to provide 400,000 insecticide-treated bed nets and over 1 million doses of anti-malarial nationwide. To lessen the country's HIV/AIDS burden, 79,000 doses of antiretroviral drugs were procured for people living with HIV/AIDS. Also bearing in mind the challenge of unstable power supply, 1,049 rural electrification projects were executed. To curb the rate of road accidents in the country, approximately 4,000 kilometers of roads were constructed nationwide, including the rural and urban water project worth 20 billion naira. Many of Nigeria's rural poor had felt the impacts of this huge development, although these projects were seen to have been executed and appreciated by the country's rural poor. A lot is still expected to be done if the Millennium Development Goals are to be achieved by 2015.